Welcome to the fastest stop in town. Today on the Masechta Chagigah, Daf Beis. We will begin at the beginning of the Masechta. Hakol chayovin b're'iyah. Everyone is obligated in re'iyah. Now, what exactly is that referring to? Rashi says, "B'mitzvahs re'iyas kol zechorcha, shesrichin lihirois ba'azor b'regel." So this is referring to mean oil regel, by going up to Yerushalayim and going to the base of Mikdash. Says Taisus, quoting Rashi, the mitzvah yira'eh kol zechorcha. Because Rabbi Chanan tani b'saymich be'shami oimrim hariyah shtei kesev mashmud b'karben mayri. So the question again that Taisus presents is that l'chayra we're not talking about the chiyuv of being oil regel, but rather it's talking about the actual carbon, which is the oilus re'iyah. There are three karbanos: the oilus re'iyah, the shalmi chagigah, and the shalmi simcha. So perhaps this is what it's referring to. Furthermore, Tosa says, "V'od amrin and b'Yerushalmi reish mechiltin b'medaber b'riyas carbon, b'riyas panim ba'azar hakol chayavin kabel mekabel nashim v'nashim ataf." So again, it's questionable. What exactly is our Mishnah referring to? Is it referring to the chiyuv of going up, or is it the chiyuv of bringing the carbon? Ayin Taisus. So hakol chayav b're'iyah. So it's learning Pashup Shan Rashi that it's referring to going up. So the question is, who is obligated? Everyone. Chutz mecheresh v'katan, excluding certain individuals. A cheresh, which is someone, as we're going to see, is eno shemeh eno medaber, and a shaita and a katan, as Rashi says, they're not considered to have das, and therefore they're patur from mitzvahs in general. Ben tumtum is someone that we don't know their status. The androgynous, from the Greek word androgino, which means male and female. They have both male and female characteristics. V'noshim v'avadim, women and slaves. Shenim mishuchrarim, who are not free. Hachiger, someone who is physically incapable. It's difficult for them to walk because he's lame. Vasuma, someone who is blind, and all these are going to be derived from sukkim, as we'll see soon in the Gemara. V'chayla, someone who is sick. V'zakin, someone who's elderly. Misheni yachal alois baraglav, someone who can't go on his feet, and it's difficult for him to go all the way from Yerushalayim to the Azara, to the base of Mikdash. And again, all this will be explained. Now, Ezu Katan. So we said that a Katan is not obligated in being oil or regel. Now, what exactly is this age of a Katan that's pater? So this is pretty clear that we're talking about being oil or regel, at least that's how it seems. So the age that a child's not even able to ride on his father's shoulders to go up to the Har HaBayis, which obviously is quite a young age. For him to be able to physically hold his father's hand to be able to go up, says Rashi. From that point on, even though he's not a chiyuv, so we see clearly the mitzvah of chinuch, according to Rashi, is on the mother as well as the father. So as we mentioned, the question is, how much is the minimal amount of the bringing of the various karbanos? So you have the oilus re'iyah, which is carbon oil, which is completely burned on the mizbeach, which no one is going to eat. And then you have the shalmi chagigah, in which is divided into two portions. The Kohen gets some of it, the mizbeach, some of it goes on the mizbeach, and also the owner gets some of it. So therefore, according to the shita of Beis Shammai, he feels it makes more sense that it should be the oilus re'iyah should be shtei kesef. So the chagigah is only a sixth of a dinner. Now, what is the reason for that? If it's only being burned in the mizbeach, so Beis Shammai holds that since the oil is on the mizbeach, it's more chashiv. So therefore, you need to spend more money. The chagigah actually spend more because, as I said, because the notion that you're going to be using it not just for yourself, but for others as well. As Rashi says, Chagigah is the Shama Chagigah, Hayavan Hayachidim Lahabi Baregel, the Alfinim Mivachagoisam Oiso Chag Hashem, as we'll see on Daf Tes. Now, so there's a machlokus when it comes to two of the karbanos, the Olos Re'iyah and also the Shalmi Chagigah. However, when it comes to the Shalmi Simcha, there is no minimum amount, and women are also mechuyev in this. So the Gemara asks, why does it say, if it already excludes people, so then why does it say Hakol? Hakol Isui Mai. So on this is question 7. Hakol Isui, Hakol Chayim Re'iyah, Hakol Isui Mai. Give me 2 of 3 answers. So let's see the first one. So if you have someone who is half free and half a slave, which what means is that you have a person who had shutfus, partnership over a slave, and that individual, one of them freed him and the other one didn't. So he has the status of half and half. So that person, because he is partially free, so therefore he's also mechuyev, he also is obligated to go. Or Ravina di Omer Mish Chetzav Chetzav Ben Chayrin Patim and Maria Hakol Esuyim. It's actually machlokas. So according to the sheet of Ravina, he is potter. So then why does it say a koil? So that is only one answer according to one opinion. So second possibility is Lesui Chiger B'Yom Rishon Nispash B'Yom Sheni. So a person who is a chiger. So the Mishnah says Beferish a chiger, a lame person, is potter. However, he was only lame on the first day. However, he ended up being healed afterwards. Now we know that there's a din tashlumin, as we've seen in numerous other masechtas, that a person who doesn't bring the carbon on the first day, he is chagig b'haylech, he can continue to bring the carbon even beyond that. So according to this is the reason why, the fact that now he's healthy, so now he can go. So even though he wasn't healthy on the first day, it's okay. He can still now go on the second day, and he can also bring his karbanos. Now, that makes sense according to the shita that says that each of the days is a tashlumin for each other. Therefore, there's actually a chiyuv to bring the carbon, not just on day one. Maybe the whole purpose is dafka in order to make up for the first day. So if on the first day you were potter, even though afterwards you're no longer chiger, you're spashet, the din still is that you would be potter. So that's the second answer, though. Therefore, the third answer is sui sumachs me'enav, someone who is blind in one eye. So someone who's blind in one eye is going to be chayiv based on the words hakoil. So the sign Yochanan Havo Yomer Misham Rabbi Yehuda Suma Bachas Me'ena Patim and Ariyah. Actually, this shita holds that if you're blind in one eye, then you're potter. Shner Yira to see and being seen. The way that you're being seen by Hashem is the same way you see. So therefore, Mal Lirois B'Shtei Einav, Nal Lirois B'Shtei Einav. When Hashem sees you, Kaviyachol, anthropomorphically speaking, it's with 2 eyes. It's complete. It's not partial. So too, you can only go, or you only mechuyev to go when you have 2 eyes. Maybe it's like we said before, that it's referring to the Chetzi Eved Chetzi Ben Chayrin, and the Kakashula Chorad Ravina. Maybe Shita Ravina, he says you're potter. Lukasha kan be Mishnah Rishayna, kan be Mishnah Achrayna. Because we're going to see that Beis Hillel actually agree with the Shita Beis Shammai, and that you're end up going to be Chai. It says Rashi, Kaidim shechazru Beis Hillel, Haris can be Beis Shammai. Eventually Beis Hillel agrees with Beis Shammai. So Seva the Bastis and Tani Chutz Min Havadim She'enim Meshachrarim the Ukma Ravina Nami Shechatz Ben Charim the Potter Nishnis Kaidim shechazru Beis Hillel. Since at that point Beis Hillel felt that since he's half an Eved, so therefore he's going to be potter. The truth is, the Beis Din will be able to force him. It's as though he's already completely freed. So the fact that it was written this way, we don't change it. However, the reality is that there is no machlokas. Beis Hillel ends up agreeing to the Shita Beis Shammai, as we're now going to see. Did not. Misha chetzev ben chayrin, oivid as Rabbi yom echad v'es atzmo yom echad. So it's very simple eitzah. So you have one person, one day he'll work for the servant, for the master, and the other day he'll work for himself. And that's fine. Divrei Beis Hillel. Amrul Beis Shammai said, okay, that makes sense on a financial level, so we continue Beis on the Beis, that tikantum es Rabbi, however, as atzmo tikantum. You fix the issue as far as his master, so this way his master will be properly compensated because he's still a servant. However, he has a bigger problem. Lisa shivchenu yochel. He's not able to marry a shivcha. Why? Says Rashi, tzad hacherus shaboy, because he is free. So he's not allowed to marry a shivcha if you're free. But he can't marry a regular woman either, because he still is partially an eved. So levatel. So say, okay, so let him not get married, not have kids. The purpose of the world is for procreation. Not for nothing to be barren, but rather to inhabit the world. So in fact, we end up passing like the Shita, we hold like the Shita Beis Shammai, and therefore there's no such thing really of half and half, because the reality is he's going to end up having to be freed. So let's look at question 7. So what are the 3 cases of Hakol? So either Chetzi Lev Chetzi Ben Chayrin, a Chiger, someone who's lame on the first day and then he gets healed on the second, or Sumim Achas Me'enav, someone who's blind in one of their eyes. Chutz Mecheresh Shad B'Katan. Katani Cheresh Dom Shad B'Katan. We are linking these people. Ma Shad B'Katan, the La B'nei Deya, it's referring to someone who doesn't have Das. So Av Cheresh the La Bar Deya, when it comes to a Cheresh who halachically doesn't have Das. But Kamash Mlon Kidit Nan. And it's come to teach us like we learned. Cheresh Shadibru Chachamim B'chol Makoim. Whenever we hear the word Cheresh, and especially when it's linked with a Shatan Akatan, it's She'enu Shemeya B'chol Makoim She'enu Shemeya V'Na Medaber. It's someone who unfortunately is not able to speak or hear. However, if a person is deaf but he can talk, or he can't talk, he's a mute, but he can hear, then he's chayiv in mitzvos. Says Rashi, it has to be someone who has lacking both abilities. At least that's how it was, that those individuals were considered to not have das, because they had the inability to be able to connect to people. Someone who's a medaber who could speak but he can't hear, that's someone who's called just a cheresh. Medaber is a ilim. Someone who can hear but can't speak, that's someone who's mute. If one of those 2 qualities, we say that individual is a pekeach, he's regular, has complete das. How do we know when someone's a medaber but he can't speak, that's a cheresh, and shemei and a medaber is zehu ilim? How do we know that those are the right terms based on those issues? T'chsiv ani kecheresh loy eshma. The pasuk says to him, I'm like a cheresh who can't hear. Uki'ilim, and I'm like an ilim lo yiftach piv, that doesn't open his mouth. The ibois ema kedamri inshi, like they say, ishtakil milule, that his words were taken away, and you have the letter aleph at the beginning of ishtakil, the lamed at the end of the word, and then mem. So we say. We find that these are words which bring up an ilim, someone who is mute. Okay. Weiter. Let's continue. Medaber b'enu shemei shemei medaber chayev. So we said that only someone who's an enu shemei medaber is pater. However, if you could hear or you could speak, then you're going to be chayev in re'iyah. in being Olchai means in being oilus re'iyah, as well as bringing the carbon. Vosanya medaber and shemei medaber potter. It says beferish that you're potter in this case. How can you tell me you're chayiv? So Ravina v'yitem rav v'chaser mechzav hakatan. There's words missing, so how you're supposed to read it. Hakol chayav and b'riyah u'v'simcha. Everyone is chayiv in the oila offering, as well as oilus re'iyah offering, as well as the shalmi simcha. Chutz mecherish medaber v'ina shemeya v'ina medaber shepater min re'iyah. They are potter from bringing the carbon. Now, they're still obligated in bringing the shalmi simcha. However, so therefore we're saying like this. Now when it comes to someone who is not a shemei and not a medaber, can't hear or talk, so that individual is potter from everything, even bringing the shalmi simcha. However, when we're talking about someone who's a cherish or someone who is a medaber, so those individuals, indeed, it's true, are going to be potter from re'iyah. However, the oilus re'iyah, but they're going to be chayiv in bringing the simcha. Says Rashi. Oh, let's finish this. So Tanya mihachi hakol chayav and re'iyah. It says everyone is chayiv. Chutz mecher shemedaber ve'ena shemeya ve'ena medaber shepeturin min ha're'iyah, that they are potter from re'iyah. Now ba'afal pi shepater min ha're'iyah, as we said before, as we continue to Gimel Manalv, chayiv b'simcha. He's still chayiv in bringing the simcha. Says Rashi up top, l'smoich b'chag, to be happy on the holiday, which again is also bringing the shalmi simcha. The samachta b'chagecha v'yarmina kaman, the simcha. That's the element of in simcha el babasar. So therefore, that's the bringing of this carbon. Someone who can't speak and also can't hear. There are potter from simcha. So therefore, they're going to be potter from everything, and we'll discuss why, in fact, do we say there's a chiluk between the person who is a medaber, or someone who is, but they're medaber, but they're in a shemeya, or the other way around, that they're only missing one of those two senses. That why is it that they're potter from the oilus re'iyah, and why are they chayav in the shalmi simcha? We'll see that in tomorrow's daf. Okay, fine. Let's look at question 8. Ilim hashomeya ve'ena medaber. Madino Indian re'iyah Indian hakel. Okay, we didn't finish that, but we did see already regarding re'iyah that he's potter from re'iyah. We'll see that in tomorrow's daf. TA 20. Suma b'ayin achas. Someone who is blind in one eye. Him chayav b're'iyah umenolan. So it's actually a machlokas. But here he just says befer suma potter d'chsev yora b'karin and yora kader shabal lirois kach bal lirois. Even though it seems like it's really a machlokas. Okay, that's only part of that question. We'll see the rest another time. Question TB21. Chatziv evet chatziv ben chayrin ha'im chayav b're'iyah u'ma ha'mokar min ha'torah lezeh. So is he potter or is he chayav? So he says like this: L'mishneri shayna potter d'alfinan el pnei ha'adain mishe'enu el adan echad u'mishnah achrayna chayav. So that's actually based on Rashi, because Rashi. Let's actually look at that Rashi before we stop. Rashi says on Beis and Beis that the issue is she'adam roya es hashchina yiroah kol shezchorcha es pnei adain mashma she'adain bal hiroischa hikash akasa v'yascha riyasai. So anyway, there's this connection that because the pasuk says by an adain, so it has to be someone dafka who has only one adain. Mashen came this person because he is an eved, so then taki he would be potter. However, Mishnah Achrayna, as we said, he is chayiv. Okay, let's look at my Masechta Bechina, which I took about 30 years ago in Miami. Rabbi Gibber took this test, so I'm going to see. Question 1. Ma'atam taman desvirule b'chetzi ev b'chetzi ben chor potter min re'iyah. So I wrote, because it says in the pasuk, El Pnei Adain Hashem. Only someone who has one Adain is chayev, excluding Evan who has two masters. And they said, why would you be chayev Maria? So I wrote a lot of stuff over here. Let's see what I wrote. Chayzer Beis Hillel Beis Shammai, he was free completely. He says that although he didn't pay for his half, he's still free and he's chayev. I wrote on the back. Hakoil is including this Eved that you're chayev, and Ravina is going like Beis Hillel after he was chayzer like Beis Shammai. Fine. Ad kan.